Pharmaceutical giant Johnson & Johnson last month announced that it would lift patents on the life drug Bedaquiline, but it might take some time before South Africa could benefit from the lifting of patents on the drug. That's according to the Health Department. The cost of the drug used to treat multidrug-resistant tuberculosis, or MDR-TB, has dropped by 40%. Now, this announcement paves the way for the manufacturing of cheaper, generic versions of the drug to be sold in 134 low- and middle-income countries. Bedaquiline is now the backbone of all short and long regimens recommended by the World Health Organization to treat MDR-TB. Well, to discuss this matter further, we are joined virtually by the head of National TB Program at the National Health Department, Professor Norbert Ndjeka, and that's the topic we'll be discussing. Professor, thank you very much for joining us. It's good to have you here on the program.
Thank you, and also greet all the viewers. Thank you.
So, last month, Professor, Johnson & Johnson announced that it will not enforce patents on Bedaquiline, which, of course, as I mentioned, is used for treating the multidrug-resistant tuberculosis in about 134 low- and middle-income countries. How will the lowering of the price of Bedaquiline save South Africa money and hopefully make treatment available to more people?
Yeah, thank you so much, Leanne. This is big news. We welcome that with a lot of excitement, but perhaps we should go back to 2018. And if you look at some of your records from SABC in June 2018, you find that South Africa was the first country in the whole world to remove the injectable in the treatment of multidrug-resistant tuberculosis. We were first to introduce Bedaquiline, and at that stage, there was already a price reduction. We used to buy it for close to 10,000 for 6 months of treatment prior to 2018. And through negotiation by Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, our minister by then, we had a decrease from 10,000 to 5,400 already in 2018. And a further 40% reduction is really big news. We are hoping that we'll be able to find even more people, put them on treatment, and get all the benefits that we desire as a TB program.
Excuse me. If we look at the why is it still unclear how soon the changes will filter down to national programs in high-burden countries like South Africa?
No, the changes are here. Ian. We received a letter. Our chief director responsible for affordable medicine, Ms. Khadija Jamaluddin, shared a letter with me a week ago or so, indicating that Bedaquiline, which was already put on our TB program, TB drugs tender, at a price of 5,577 rands for 6 month treatment, has been reduced to 3,148. So the changes here, we received the official communication from J&J, and we look forward to purchasing. In fact, our provinces can purchase. It's just that we already have a bit of stock from the previous year, which we are still giving to our patients, but the price is here, and we're already benefiting from this price reduction in South Africa.
If South Africa, I mean, let's look at the renegotiated, a new reduced price for Bedaquiline with Johnson & Johnson. How much of a saving does this actually result in?
Yeah, in terms of savings, we're looking at a bigger number. Remember, we treat approximately 7,000 to 8,000 people per year now, and we've been spending 5,400 in the recent past. Now, if we buy this over the next, let's say, 2 years or so, we think that we could easily have a savings as just looking at it earlier on, we're looking at 88 million, because if we assume that in the next 2 years of this tender, we treat 8,000 people per year, we shall save, so the price would have been 88 million rand, but that will come down to 35 million rand, 200,000. So we're looking here at a massive saving of 53 million rand for Bedaquiline alone over the next 2 years. And that's really a lot of money for our National Department of Health for the TB program. We can redirect it for other priorities.
Certainly is, and I mean it's a massive amount of money, and particularly when you see that this is, of course, one of the leading causes of death in South Africa. I mean, we have about 300,000 cases that are reported each year of TB. Let's perhaps get a little bit of an understanding as to how much the department is actually spending per patient for a 6-month TB treatment regime currently.
Okay, so in terms of TB cost, you're looking at, so we have 3 types of patients. You got your ordinary TB patients that we call drug-susceptible TB. Then you got your multidrug-resistant TB patient, and your extensively drug-resistant tuberculosis. Your multi-drug-resistant tuberculosis are very common, the commonest among the resistant. These make something like 3% of the entire TB population. So when we say we have 300,000 TB per year, your drug-susceptible TB will be in the region of 280, 290, and then your resistant are just about 15,000 estimated or so. But to treat this multi-drug-resistant TB patient and extensively resistant, you need more funds than your susceptible TB, because for the drug-susceptible TB, we would spend 300 rand for 6 months. I haven't checked the latest price, but it's been that low. Maybe it has gone down a little bit. I'm not too sure, but you're looking in the region of 300,000 per patient. Now, to treat your multi-drug-resistant TB patient, you are looking in the region of 22,000 rand for 6 months treatment, because there are other drugs that we use, but also we do quite a number of tests in the process. So they're quite expensive to treat, but it has come down. That's why we are quite excited. We used to spend as much as 100,000 rand for one extensively drug-resistant TB patient that we call XDR, which was more than 100,000 for one patient. But now the multi-drug-resistant and the XDR, we treat them the same way. We're looking at the region of 22,000 rand for 6 months of treatment.
That's it certainly is a significant saving. It really is. I beg your pardon. The cost of Bedaquiline has been a point of concern for at least the last decade. I mean, I know you went back to 2018, and I mean, calls have been mounting on pharmaceutical company to reduce the cost. Perhaps you can take us into the understanding as to why it has taken Johnson & Johnson so long to drop the price here in South Africa.
Yeah, I think the issue of price, I need to indicate that we've involved the Competition Commission to do this. But in South Africa, I need to say we didn't need to reduce the price. I think the whole debate around Bedaquiline has been more of a global debate than a South African debate, because when Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi negotiated the price reduction in 2018, we were first to start using it for all patients. The rest of the world was still doing research. And you'll agree with me that when you're providing a drug to a small number of people, the farmer will not see the need to reduce the price. So in 2018, we took a landmark decision there to scale up to all eligible, all MDR-TB or multidrug-resistant TB patients, which really justified the price reduction, and then the rest of the world started using. But the reduction, the reduction in 2018 applied to the rest of the world. That was the request from the Minister of Health for South Africa, who was a chair of the Global Stop TB Partnership at that stage. So this was a global decision which was applied. So we didn't see the need to decrease until recently, when the new tender was issued. The price increased slightly to 5,577. And this was to start 1st of October. That's when we started negotiating, and fortunately the price decreased before we start buying from the new tender. So I wouldn't see this as a old problem. I think, it is a problem. We're happy the price cut is here, but we have not been purchasing more in the past because our price was lower than GDF. It's been lower than the GDF. We've been buying 5,400 Rand for 6 months treatment. The GDF price up to last month was $340. So we've been buying at an affordable price. Yeah.
I mean, I was having a look at a study that was done in Liverpool. This is from the Access Campaign, Medicines Frontier, and they were showing, and this is from 2020. Researchers at Liverpool University showed that Bedaquiline could be produced and sold at a profit for as little as $25 in cents, 25 cents in the dollars per day. So, I mean, this is a massive profit that this company has been making. And, this was in 2020. We're now in 2023, and we know this has been going on for a long time, and we know it saves lives. So, this is certainly something that is long overdue. But just finally, before I let you go and we wrap up the interview, in September this year, the competition in South Africa, the Commission launched an investigation into J&J over this price of Bedaquiline. Did you manage to meet with both parties to map a way forward on the investigations and future procurement contracts?
Yeah, we had a number of interaction with the Competition Commission. They requested a lot of data from us in terms of quantities purchased over the last 5 years since we started using. We had the access program in 2013. So we talked about that as well. Number of patients treated, how much we bought, and all this. So they've been very useful at settling this one. And we agree that in future, if we identify other products other TB products that are very expensive, we talk to them so that they could assist us, because involving the Competition Commission is really useful. We didn't do this in the past, but it's very, very useful to involve them in negotiations like this. Thank you.
Professor Norbert Ndjeka, thank you very much for talking to us. He, of course, is the head of National TB Program at the National Health Department. Thanks so much for speaking to us.